in many cases, I think as odd as this sounds, it is the safest place in the world to be, is in utter dependence. But yet it feels so vulnerable. Oh. And that's how I see children. Vulnerable, but longing for safety. And maybe in some crazy way, I'm trying to correct what I lost at 10 years old as part of this journey.
I won't lose hope in the night when the fire's glowing dim. I'll just let go and I'll try. Help me walk this road and find my way back home. Find my way back home. Find my way home.
Welcome back to the Famous and Known Podcast. Today we are in episode 2 of season 6. And we are talking about relational intelligence in kids. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll notice we are back at the arena in an Airstream in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I have my friend Kevin Wallace with me again today. Before we jump into relational intelligence in kids, we're going to talk a little about the curriculum. If you haven't listened to last week's episode, I would highly encourage you to go listen to that, because it was the introduction to what the world, how did all this come about, where are we in this process, and everything's in the show notes there. We're going to walk through curriculum a little bit today. But before we jump into this, I want to let you know that Tender and Fierce registration is now open for the fall cohort. And that fall cohort the registration ends August 29th. So make sure you sign up for that. It begins early September. We had an episode a few weeks ago, interviewed Christy on Tender and Fierce. If you're familiar, if you're not familiar with it, you can jump in and check that out. We also have some marriage coaching available coming up, marriage coaching program. We also hold intensives. We'd love for you to check out the recent marriage episode we did a few weeks ago. Check that out as well. We'll have the marriage and Tender and Fierce in the show notes today. So with all that aside, Kevin Wallace, welcome.
Hey, Josh, what's up? So we'll flip it around here because I'm always curious of your brain heart connection, and I know I live in out there world, creative. In the future, like I say, I can see the future, can't remember yesterday. But I'm curious about where all this started, where it comes from, and kind of just the I guess the bit of a storyline to how we end up with 16 lessons, and then as a framework for many more, right? Mm-hmm. That's gonna just keep growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and it okay. So this will take you guys ready for a story. Some of you may have heard this story before. I wrote it in Safe House. But if we go all the way back. And I don't even think I realized this. Hindsight's always 20/20. You never truly realize. But I remember when I was 10 years old, waking up one morning and basically seeing my family crumble. My mom leaving, my dad, and my parents went through a divorce that day. And it was a day. Like, there's one particular day where I literally watched our family just crumble. And had no idea. Like, I was 10 years old, had never seen my parents argue before. So it hit me out of left field. 6:04 a.m. in the morning, my mom wakes me up, and it's a hot July day. Like, we had just gotten back from a family vacation. Like, it's all seemed well. And I remember, and I've gone back and just done some therapy, allowed Jesus into that moment. I've done some real contemplative prayer on healing that journey. But if I'm truly honest, I don't think I truly understood until later in life that it was fascinating that I ended up writing a book called Safe House and start really studying emotional safety, because I lost that sense of safety when I was 10 years old. And now as an adult and having kids of my own and watching those kids grow up, we have a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and watching those kids grow up, you know, and I look at Jesus's words of, unless you become like little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yes. And
I spent a lot of years, I have a PhD. I spent a lot of years in the intellectual world and just kind of trying to figure life out, figure things out. And I think that's the way Jesus works, is there's always simplicity on the other side of complexity, that he wants us to land on simplicity on the other side of complexity. But in some respects, we have to wrestle with the complexity first. We have to go through the hard stuff. He says, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. And there's a sense that those troubles, that suffering, refines us and helps us realize our dependency on him. And I equated this, I lead a Bible study locally, and we were talking as a group of men, and we were talking about our greatest takeaways from that morning. And this was just a few weeks ago. And I said, man, my greatest takeaway, we're reading through the book of John right now. And just that day, my greatest takeaway was, I never want to lose the posture of laying on my back with my arms and my legs just spread out, kind of like flailing like a 5-month-old who can't even roll over yet, in utter dependence, that Jesus pick me up. Because the minute that I start to, and you even think about from the posture standpoint, even if you're on your knees, you could get up. You have some sense of control. When you're on your back and you're flailing, you have no sense of control. He has to be in utter control. And in many cases, I think, as odd as this sounds, it is the safest place in the world to be, is in utter dependence. But yet it feels so vulnerable. Oh. And that's how I see children. Vulnerable, but longing for safety. And maybe in some crazy way, I'm trying to correct what I lost at 10 years old as part of this journey.
That's awesome. I mean, that's, because I know, I mean, I had awesome childhood, right? But our childhoods don't just affect us growing up, right? So how we are affected doesn't just affect us as we grow up, as we get married, as we have kids, as we're parents, so again, when I hear your story, testimony of reaching that point of dependence, just understanding the power of long-term multi-gen change and effect you can have by just affecting a child, by that safety, right?
Yeah,
by creating an environment where they can grow up in a safe place, right? And a lot of people don't. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that don't. You know, a lot of kids don't have not the choice. Right. But a lot of times, it's just it's unawareness, is you don't know what you don't know, and I think that's to me the curriculum, and coming from that place as an origin providing awareness that there's a platform to help instill into a family system a mindset, right? Yeah. A heart set of safety, and then that starting now is a seed to plant in the next generation. Right? So I mean, to me that's like layers of power. And I love that.
And what's wild about that too is it's funny because I did a lot of therapy for many, many years. I would do therapy, and one of my core therapeutic moments was going back and healing a particular scene that day, from that day, when my parents finally came together for the first time. and we're all out in our driveway, my childhood home in the driveway, and I had worked through that in experiential therapy and so on and so forth, just different people playing different parts, and yet it wasn't until a few years later that I had a spiritual mentor come into my life and say, "Hey, have you ever brought Jesus into that moment? Like, where was he at in that moment?"
He was there.
And I'm telling you, oh man, was he there. And I pictured him swinging me around in that moment, and just, it was wild, because from that point on, I moved on from it. Like, it wasn't until I saw Jesus in that moment that I knew that it was absolutely done. And I think that is the done from the sense of like, I don't look back on it in any way, shape, or form now. It just happened. You know what I mean? I learned from it. I saw what happened. Jesus healed it, got beautiful, got beautiful healing from it. But it's like, we cannot divorce emotional intelligence and therapeutic tools from the presence of Jesus in our healing journey, because ultimately those tools came from him to begin with at some level.
Yes.
If it's truth, then it comes from him. And we want to instill that truth at all levels. And so that's what this whole curriculum is about. And we designed it that way so that it is full of faith builders.
So, yes, yeah, it is full of surprises and faith builders. So roll into more of the curriculum the curriculum layout.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So there's modules.
Yep. Right? Yep. We have modules. Yep.
And then inside the modules.
Yep. There's lessons. Yep.
And then those lessons are built around sections of activity meets,
role play,
meets integration and family.
That's right. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, anything else you can?
Yeah. So we have the first 16 and we have the first 16. I think we said this in the first episode, last week's episode. We said 16 weeks. I don't want to say 16 weeks anymore.
Yeah, 16
because it's not necessarily weeks. There's 16 lessons, and those lessons are, they might be 1 week, but they might be, you could stretch those 16 lessons out over the course of 32, even potentially, 50 weeks. I mean, because 48 weeks, because it is so, there's so much goodness in there, so many different types of activities. And so one of the questions might be, hey, what ages is this for? This curriculum really is for, I'd say, preschool up through about 5th grade. And preschool, you'd have to tailor it a little bit for the preschooler. But this is curriculum, even these 16 lessons, you can go through literally every single year because it's just part of it.
And look, I look at it as a lot of things that will, a lot of the opportunity in the curriculum and the way that it's structured, the scalability, and then the extracurricular and add-ons and things that are coming, right? Yep. Is the opportunity to, as you're saying, you can do these things over and over, is to become rhythms.
Yes, right? That's right.
So I think that's a big point to note that they're not like one and dones. Right. Like these are habit. Like we want to form healthy habits.
And there's a lot of these that are experiential. So as Kevin said, you're coming together as a family. There's activities for kids that are going to marry their right and left brain together. So there's experiential exercises that allow the ability for them to be able to remember what it is that they're learning, as opposed to just doing cognitive, rote memorization, that sort of thing. And so whether you're a homeschooling parent, whether you're a public school, you go public school, private school, whatever you do, this can be augmented for your family. So you can implement it into your homeschooling curriculum very easily. You could also implement it at home for kids who go to school on an everyday basis, and use this as an opportunity to bring your family close together. Use it as an opportunity to enter into the world of your kids. And so this curriculum is there's 5 activities in each lesson. And so technically what you could do is do an activity per day for 5 days a week. And then that's how you would do each week, each lesson per week. Even those 5 activities might be too much. You might want to do every other day. This is what I mean by this. These lessons are really up to you in terms of how you implement the curriculum and the environment you're implementing it in. So we're talking about to parents right now because we're starting with the parent subscription. But if you want to be a guide, that certification is coming up very soon. And we're just finalizing the workbook and everything on that. But a guide is someone who's a teacher, a school administrator, a pastor, a kids director at a church, perhaps a therapist, and you want to implement it. We've had people of these sorts implementing it all across the country when it was KidsRQ. And so we're just going to start with a certification process to implement it in group settings. And so, again, we want to plant seeds all across the world on implementing relational intelligence in kids. And so that's the nature of the curriculum, is to be able to do that. And part of your yearly subscription is that you get that. And we'll be putting out we'll be putting out addendums. We'll be adding more curriculum to it with different topics. In fact, we're already in the process of writing that. And so I'll give you an example even of week 1, because, by the way, and I don't think we even mentioned this, you can go right now and sign up for a free trial. Yep. And you will get lesson 1, and you will also get the first parenting video of the 16 videos. You get access to the first parenting video and lesson 1 for free. So just go to kidsrq.com, sign up for a free trial, and take a look at it. Because in lesson 1, the whole idea is, how do we raise our kids to be heart smart? So we all know what it means to be head smart. We know what IQ is, but heart smart is understanding relationships. And that's the lesson of lesson 1, is teaching our kids what it means to be heart smart and prioritizing their hearts. And so check that out. I would highly encourage you can go to the show notes today and sign up for a free trial. Yep.
And know that there's it's exciting to look at the roadmap and think about all the opportunities, because this is really configured as a platform that is extensible and scalable, and we're going to make it fun. We'll add, there's going to be continuous innovation and, feedback loops, and adding fun and education, and it's going to be
pretty cool.
Like I'm fired up.
And one of my favorite parts is getting ready to journey with parents and journey with you guys in Q&As. We'll do weekly Q&As. I'm super excited about that more than probably anything else, because I just love journeying with families. And how do we raise kids in the culture that we find ourselves in, and how do we support each other? And so those Q&As I'm super excited about. That's part of the yearly subscription. Is you get to be a part of that community. You get to be a part of those Q&As. And so I would love to have you be a part of that. We're in the founding members phase of this whole thing. So if you sign up, we've discounted pretty significantly there in the show notes. You'll see that. You can go to the website, and again, try it out for a free trial. Get the first lesson, get the first video. If you don't like it, hey, no harm, no foul whatsoever. Maybe it's just not for you at this season. That's okay. But tell others about it. Let others know who might be interested in it, because we really want to coalesce and build an army of parents and child advocates who want to raise kids in the faith in an emotionally and spiritually healthy way. And so that gets me super excited. And I'm just super honored, dude, to have you on this journey with me.
Bro,
because, man,
this is what it's about.
Having somebody in the fight, and Christy's been in the fight with me obviously all these years, but to have someone outside our home who sees it, believes in it, has come alongside us in the way that you have, man.
It's something
cool.
special. Yep.
It really is. So check out the KidsRQ.com. We will have more information in the coming weeks. Next week, We have some other surprise episodes coming out on kids' relational intelligence as we start navigating and helping kids in what am I feeling? Why is it important to help kids understand what it is they are feeling? And how can we do that better? So that's what we're going to start getting into next week. Remember, Tender and Fierce is coming up. Sign up for that. You can also check out if you're interested in a marriage coaching intensive or our group coaching program coming up this fall. Sign up in the show notes there as well. And obviously, check out KidsRQ. Sign up for a free trial. Sign up for yearly membership. We would love to see you inside. And until next week, keep in mind that the greatest red carpet you will walk is through your front door.